Hey there, Gemini. Welcome to your reading for the September 17th Pisces eclipse that we're having on the 17th, obviously. You have this Union and Power card, this Faith and Wisdom card as well. So we'll have to see what's going on there. I feel like you need to have faith that you can manifest more abundance. Damn, Gemini, I knew this was going to be good for you. I mean, obviously, you have Jupiter in your own sign. Kind of anytime a sign has Jupiter in their sign, their readings are always like super positive. Now, again, I always get comments from people that are like, you know, my life sucks. My grandma got run over by a wiener dog the other day, and, you know, someone spit on me and all this other stuff. I'm like, okay, well, you know, it doesn't mean things are going to be freaking perfect in your life. That's just life. You know, shit happens, right? And so, again, nothing is perfect. It doesn't even exist. So, you know, get over that, right? But number two, what I would say is we have to do things to make this happen. So I feel that for a lot of you, yes, there's really good energy that exists, but, you know, and good energy can exist all day long in a reading, but if you don't do something with it, then nothing is going to happen. So you have the Nine of Pentacles, the Magician, and the Wheel of Fortune. The Magician is pointing towards the Chariot, which we're going to talk about. So I feel literally the Magician is saying to be able to manifest, you have to do this, the Chariot, which we're going to talk about. But you have the Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles is independence. I do feel like you're just like, you know, kind of like in a good place. I don't really get anything traditional off of the Nine of Pentacles. I feel for a lot of you, it's saying that, you know, just you being independent is going to help you manifest and attract what you want. Like you focusing on yourself, you know, focusing on your own energy and even protecting your energy. She protects her energy. She has 3 Pentacles here and 6 here. And it kind of represents the fact that she's willing to give 3 Pentacles to new situations or to any situation in her life, but she always keeps more than enough for herself. So she never overgives in anything that she's doing. And again, I think that could be important for you. You have the Magician. The Magician, of course, is about manifesting and manifesting things into your life. He has mastery over all the suits in the tarot. These are all the ace versions of all the cards, and so he is able to manifest whatever he wants. Right next to it, you have the Ace of Swords. So this could be saying that it would be a great time for you to manifest what you want with the Swords energy, which the Ace of Swords would represent laser-like focus. You know, the Ace of Swords represents really, really focusing in on exactly what you want, and so in staying focused as well. I would also say that, of course, it would represent using your intellect. On top of that, the Ace of Swords can represent making a sacrifice. We have a palm frond on one side, olive branch on the other, and the palm frond represents cutting things out or sacrificing something. And usually, what we sacrifice is, you know, things that no longer serve us, or you know, dead weight in our life, so that we can have something greater. The Chariot represents setting yourself apart. The Chariot, you know, he's pointing towards the Chariot, and the Chariot represents being in alignment by setting yourself apart from like competition or other people in your life, and we'll talk more about that in a minute. You have the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is your destiny, and it's really your destiny how you see it. It is your personal vision for your life. And so I feel for a lot of you, you could be taking control of your destiny and making some big changes. We even go up to the Tower. I kind of feel that the Tower is a Tower moment that you are causing for other people. So, you know, I don't even feel that the Tower is necessarily bad in your reading. Some of you could just be moving as well. But to me, the Tower isn't a bad card in the first place. Those people are coming down, seeing reality for what it is. And so really, it's just a card of seeing reality. And we'll talk more about it. But also, a lot of people during this eclipse have had the Tower. And so I think we're also probably just going to see global Tower moments. And that's it. With the Nine of Pentacles, you have the Four of Wands. Four of Wands is a card of freedom. And yes, it can represent marriage, but these people have been set free. And so usually we have to set ourselves free by completing something. And even the Ace of Swords, you go Ace of Swords to the world. You know, the world is a card of completion or bringing something to an end or ending a cycle. So if you are ending something, I feel that you're about to kind of like get to the next stage, or you're about to take something to the next level. And I definitely feel that for you here, Gemini. With the Magician, you have the Three of Wands. Three of Wands, very expansive. I think it's an amazing time to take whatever you're trying to manifest and multiply it by 1,000, right? And are you going to get that 1,000x goal or manifestation? Probably not. But if what you originally wanted is like $1 million, and instead you say, I'm going to manifest $1 billion, and then because you 1000x'd it, you manifest $100 million or $10 million, I don't think you're going to be complaining, right? So I'm a big believer in what Les Brown says, it's better to aim high and miss than it is to aim low and hit. And so I think it's time for you to like aim high, go for that bigger goal. With the Wheel of Fortune, you have the Ten of Wands. It's like you're waiting for a change. I don't feel this is bad or good. I just think you've been putting a lot of work. You've been manifesting. You've been waiting to see results on the work that you have done. And I kind of just feel this is saying that the results are coming. And I know that's not like a good answer, but I feel that you've been waiting. And I do kind of also feel that the Ten of Wands is saying don't give up now. You're very close. Next, you have this in the area of what's coming in for you. You have this adventure card and this regret card. I think this is saying you will regret not going on an adventure. It's almost like you're getting an opportunity with the Chariot to go on some sort of adventure. And I feel this is saying like, avoid the regret. Make sure that you go on the adventure, whatever this adventure is. You have the Hierophant, the Ace of Swords, and the Chariot. The Hierophant is a blessing. He's making this symbol right here with his hands, and he's blessing these two people in front of him. These two people are being initiated into something new. They're being initiated into his belief system. But sometimes I feel that the Hierophant can represent outside the box thinking, and definitely having the Tower right next to the Hierophant, I do feel that outside the box thinking is going to be very good for you. You're a Gemini. I mean, you are very good at seeing both sides of the fence. You're very good at kind of like seeing both sides of an issue, or even good things as well. It's like, I think Geminis are really good at looking at things that are going well and saying, how can I make it even better? And that's exactly what I would practice with this reading, is like take the things that you're doing that are going well in your life, in all areas of your life, and think to yourself, how can I make it even better? Because you'll probably discover a way to make things even better. You have the Ace of Swords. Again, the Ace of Swords is really what tells me that you're probably creating a tower moment for other people. The Ace of Swords right here, we have this palm frond, like I said, which represents a sacrifice. We have this olive branch over here. The olive branch can represent an offer of peace, but it could also represent abundance. So I feel for a lot of you that you could be cutting something out. I feel like you're very focused on balance. I do feel there could be a person who has regrets, who's like coming in with an apology. And, I think that you could be creating a tower for them, because I think that if they think that if they come in with an apology, that you're just going to let them, back into your life with open arms. But I feel like you've moved on. If this is a past person and you're just moving forward, eclipses can sometimes bring things back from the past as well, just like retrograde. So, it kind of makes sense to me. But this could also represent like a big victory. And you also have the Chariot, which would also be a big victory coming in for you. But I feel like the Chariot is saying something about like, remember who you are. Like I feel the Chariot is saying, don't be afraid of being unique. He is leaving the city behind him, and he is going in a new direction. He really doesn't know where he's going. He is just in alignment with what he wants. He has these stars up here, these moons right here, and it represents as above, so below. So because he's in alignment, these two sphinxes, they represent the mysteries of the universe. They are guiding him on his journey because he's in alignment. Like, he doesn't know exactly how he's going to get to where he's going, but he just knows that if he stays in alignment, he will get there. And again, he's also setting himself apart. Everything is the same inside that city. So again, sometimes I feel when we have like the Tower, the Chariot together in a reading, it's saying that you could be leaving like a group of people, or you could be setting yourself apart, making yourself unique. Whenever you belong to a group of people and you do something different, they're going to have something to say about it. So, again, I kind of feel that's what's going on here, is that you're doing something different with your life. People might not agree with it, but they should focus, live their own lives, right? With the Hierophant, you have the Five of Cups. It's like, I feel like something just doesn't do it for you any longer. The Five of Cups, the story of the Five of Cups is that he's lost his taste for wine. So these 3 cups are spilt over in front of him, and it says that he no longer enjoys something that he used to enjoy. And the card is about gratitude. He needs to be grateful for these 2 cups. Then he gets this bridge in the castle. But I kind of feel like you've lost your taste for something. It could be a belief system, a group of people. The Hierophant can be tradition, right? So it could be some sort of tradition or a group of people who all believe the same thing. And it's like you've lost your desire for it. And that could be why the Tower is showing up here as well. With the Ace of Swords, you have the Ace of Cups. It's like you're focusing on your own fulfillment. The Ace of Cups could be love, but really the Ace of Cups is your emotions overflowing, and the Ace of Cups is a self-filling cup. It can easily reach down into the water below it and fulfill itself. So I feel for a lot of you that you are more focused on opportunities that bring fulfillment for you. And it's a very independent reading, like we said, because we have the Nine of Pentacles, we have the Empress here as well. And so I really feel that you're focused on yourself, like in a good way. With the Chariot, you have the Four of Cups. A lot of people have been getting the Four of Cups. I think we've all been experiencing disappointments for many years, where we kind of like, we think something is going to be good and then it isn't good, or it doesn't turn out how we think it's going to turn out. So we've all been experiencing that for a long time. What the Four of Cups says is that you have learned from all of these things that you have been through. And I look at the Four of Cups as needing to mix all those cups together. It's like he's trying to manifest a cake, and he has manifested the flour, the sugar, the eggs. So he's manifested the ingredients. He's manifested the things that he needs to make it successful, but he isn't, he isn't bringing it into his life. So I feel for a lot of you, it's like you've manifested the ingredients, but you just need to make sure that you're mixing it together and popping it in the oven. And that's what I feel the Four of Cups is basically saying. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this Love in Music card. You have this other card that says Fertility and Creation on it. So believe it or not, the tower can represent the creation of a new life, because you're falling down from the tower and you are rebuilding. The tower always gets reduced down to its foundation, and then we always rebuild it stronger. There's also a lightning bolt behind this Min card, the Fertility and Creation card, and there's a lightning bolt striking the top of the tower. So again, there could be some sort of sudden epiphany. The tower can represent like a light bulb moment, or a sudden inspiration, or a sudden insight that you're receiving, and it could be very fertile and creative, or lead to fertility or creation. And look at this. We have the Tower to the Empress. The idea, fertility, and creation right here. So again, the Tower is not always bad. I'm on a campaign to change how people see the Tower, because it's a good card. If we didn't have Tower moments, we would all still be wearing diapers, right? So again, Towers are very necessary. The whole point of the Tower is that these people are ignoring reality in the first place, and now they're being inspired. So again, I think you're just being inspired, by something. To make a change, and it's like because of this inspiration, you are being placed in fertility in a very fertile and very creative time because of this Tower moment. So again, is this a bad thing? I would say hell no. I think this is necessary and probably a good thing. You have the Hermit. The Hermit says you've been through a dark night of the soul. The Hermit is standing at the top of the mountain. He has completed his journey. He has learned everything that he needs to do. This is kind of striking me as you have grown to a certain point. And it's like sometimes we get to a certain point, but we stay at the same level. Like we outgrow a job, but we still have that job. And the Tower could be something where you realize you need to leave the job, or and maybe it causes a Tower moment for your boss because he has to replace you, or she has to replace you, or whatever, right? And so I kind of feel that it's like you've grown in wisdom, and because of that, now you're setting yourself apart with the Chariot, which is going to lead to fertility and creation, abundance, all sorts of good things. Whenever we have the Tower and the World in a reading like you do here, this could also represent a move. So it wouldn't surprise me if some of you are like moving or traveling, or you're deciding to move. And, again, this could be a good thing for you. This could also just be you completing one thing and starting a new cycle. The World is the last card in the Major Arcana. We always go from the Fool to the World, then we start all over again as a Fool. So a lot of you just could be starting a new adventure or a new journey in your life. With the Tower, you have the Hermit. How fun! I connected those two a second ago. Like I said, I get the feeling that you have kind of like peaked, and it's time for you to look for your next challenge. And that's what the Tower could be saying, is that like the reason maybe you're not getting as good of results in like your work or your business or whatever you're doing in your life is because you've reached a peak, and now it's time to start learning something new. And so that could be what's coming up here. With the Hermit, you have the Ace of Wands. You have 3 aces. This is amazing. Very positive. 3 aces would be a definite new beginning coming into your life. Obviously, after the Tower, there's going to be a new beginning. But this would be very positive. There would be a lot of growth, inspiration, excitement. It would be something that causes you to overflow with that Ace of Cups. So, this would be a very passionate new beginning. With the world, you have the moon. The moon can represent a period of confusion or fear, but the moon says you need to continue on your journey. There are these mountains in the background of the moon card, and the mountains in the background kind of represent an achievement. Mountains represent challenges, but they also represent an achievement because, where do you get the best views? At the top of a mountain. So a lot of you have been, kind of like either working towards this mountain. I kind of feel like you have climbed the mountain. Again, you have the hermit. So it's like you are at the top of the mountain. Maybe some of you need to realize that. And the other thing I would say is like once you've, if you have overcome something challenging, which it kind of looks like you have here, Gemini, the hermit can say you need to look at the skills that you've learned, 4 cups. You need to look at all the things you've been through. How can you mix that together and what can you turn it into, right? It's like sometimes just sharing our story can be very valuable. Or if you've been through a lot of challenges in work, that could make you more valuable to another job or another position or a promotion. And so I feel like this reading is kind of like saying you should be growing. And if you're not, you need to look for growth opportunity. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have the Swan Spirit says time for a deep dive. And you have the King of Cups here. He needs to dive deep into his emotions. You have this Panther Spirit says reclaim your power. Yeah, you have the Empress as well. So definitely would be a good time for you to reclaim your power or to step into your power. I feel like you could be exploring your emotions with the King of Cups, which we'll talk about. But the swans, they kind of live in 2 worlds. Swans feed underwater. They eat the plants under the water and stuff like that. So it kind of represents getting your nourishment from your emotions. And the King of Cups is very similar. So we'll talk about that in a second. You have the Empress, the Page of Wands, and the King of Cups. The Empress is total abundance, total success, fertility and creation, like we already said. So I feel that you could be sitting on like a golden egg. You have that goose card, or what does it say? Swan, goose. It's basically the same thing. But, I feel like you're sitting on a golden egg. And this golden egg is probably an idea because of this Min card that says fertility and creation. There's a lightning bolt there. There's a lightning bolt on the tower. I would really the only thing I would focus on if I were you is any light bulb moments that you're having around the time of the eclipse, and it could come over the next 6 months as well. Eclipse seasons last for about 6 months. So, again, I think that for a lot of you, that any light bulb moments that you have, I would definitely sit on those eggs, right? You have the Page of Wands. You're like the 3rd person to have the Page of Wands at the end, which is interesting. Page of Wands is excited for a new adventure. So, a lot of people could be starting new adventures at this time. And you have this adventure card, right? Am I making that up? No. You have that adventure card. So if you're getting any opportunities to go on a new adventure, I would. You have the King of Cups. King of Cups is sitting in the middle of the ocean, and it represents the fact that he has explored his emotions to a very deep level. And so this helps him kind of navigate in the future. And he has these choppy waters around him, but he is perfectly fine. So because he has explored his emotions, he isn't worried about every little thing that's going on around him. And I feel that you exploring your emotions and really tapping in to how you feel about the things that you're doing in life would be very helpful. So let's see. With the Empress, you have the 6 of Cups. It could be a little bit of love here for those of you that want love. You have the Ace of Cups, King of Cups, the World, Chariot. Even, it could be like a long-distance connection, or you could be meeting someone from a distance. But 6 of Cups would be very like childlike and playful, and would just be a very, happy connection coming in for you. With the Page of Wands, you have the King of Swords. King of Swords is you. I feel like this is your energy showing up here. Whenever you show up as yourself, it puts you in a position of power and strength and really allows you to get what you want from the reading. So I kind of feel like you're just showing up in a wise, strong position. With the King of Cups, you actually have 2 cards here. You have the 6 of Wands and the 8 of Pentacles. The 6 of Wands is a card of victory or success. 8 of Pentacles is material success on the horizon. So there could be a connection between your emotional state, like how you feel about what you are working on in your life, and the results you get. The 6 of Wands is also a card of attention. And remember, we were saying that maybe it's time for you to get attention in work or business because it's like you're meant to grow more. You have this Submission card. This card reminds me of the 8 of Swords. There's this bird that's in this cage, but the cage door is open. So it might be time for you to like set yourself free or to remove yourself from things that are keeping you trapped. You have this Fortune card. Yes, definitely good fortunes coming in for you. I feel like there is a change in your fortunes. I kind of feel like there's like a destined idea coming in for you with the Wheel of Fortune to the Tower. It's like you could be having a light bulb moment that leads to great fortune. You have this decision card. I feel like this is a choice between the past, everything that you've always known, Chariot, and the future, which is unknown. And so I would step into the unknown, of course. You have this Lost card. This is Saturn and Pisces. We have Saturn and Pisces right now. We also have this eclipse. So, don't worry if like something leaves your life at this time. Especially with that tower, it probably wasn't meant to be in your life anyway. But this is a very good reading, so I wouldn't even worry about that. You have this Secrets card. This is actually a good card. It's about exploring the unknown. And again, I'm pretty sure I just said explore the unknown. And I think exploring the unknown, looking for answers, researching things where you don't have all the answers would be a really good idea. But this is a pretty straightforward reading, Gemini. I like it. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your month.